like we have lost you over there, but I would like to thank Raymond Vickery for always joining us and sharing that insight throughout our news. Now we move on to our next news. Germany is raising alarm after what officials describe as the deadliest night of bombing in Gaza since the U.S. brokered truce took effect earlier this month. Berlin's Foreign Minister Johann Vadeful has stated that he's deeply concerned and is urging Israel to show restraint to prevent further civilian suffering. His comments come as Israel has launched a wave of airstrikes, which Gazan officials claim that has killed at least 100 Palestinians, including more than 20 children. That is according to Gaza's health ministry. Israel has stated that the strikes were retaliation for Hamas violations of the ceasefire, including sniper fire that killed an IDF reservist in southern Gaza. France is also sounding the alarm. A government spokesperson warns that Israel's renewed military operations are threatening the ceasefire, citing Hamas attacks and delays in returning hostage remains. UK's Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has also responded to the strikes. Let's listen in.
I'm deeply concerned, Mr. Speaker, by the strikes, and that underlines the fragility of the ceasefire deal. All sides need to uphold President Trump's peace plan. It is the only route to long-term peace for Israelis and Palestinians. We are, of course, in close touch with the US and regional allies, pushing for de-escalation. Mr. Speaker, the scale of destruction in Gaza is unimaginable. The immediate priority remains getting aid in at the speed and the volume needed. Thank you.
Israel has stated today that it had reinstated the ceasefire even after it carried out dozens of strikes. The IDF says the operations targeted terror sites under direct orders from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his security cabinet. Meanwhile, on your screens, you can see a drone footage released by the Israeli military. The Israeli military, through the video, has claimed that Hamas has planted the remains of an Israeli hostage at an excavation site before calling the Red Cross team and pretending that it had found a missing hostage. This was allegedly done to create false impression of efforts to locate bodies. The International Committee of Red Cross, on the other hand, stated that its team is unaware of the remains had been planted at the site before their arrival. Red Cross has also stated that they have confirmed with their people that they have received the bodies from Hamas. No media has been able to confirm the location by the building's road layout, nor the empty plot of this land, which matched satellite imagery of the area. The date when the video was filmed could not be independently verified either. However, the Israeli military has stated that it was filmed on Monday, 27th of October. No media could also independently verify the identity of these people digging and what was in the white bag they were placing. Hamas is yet to respond to these accusations in the video. Now, for this discussion, we welcome Ali Muhammad Bushbak. He's a Middle East researcher, joins us live from Cairo. Thank you very much, Ali, for joining us again. Good to see you. Ali, what is going on? What are we to believe about this? And what do you think? Who's making these videos then?
Oh, thank you, Suma, for having me. The thing is, as you know, in conflict situation, there is a several of fake news and disinformation about what is happening on the ground that the both fighting side they are using to manipulate the international opinion, the international public opinion, and the communities as well to maintain the morale of the internal group or internal audience from both sides. So the thing is here, up to now, it's not clear this video. It's about credible or no, but in my opinion, this is, I guess, if they are going for media forensic, they will realize it's fake, because one of the significant term in the deal between Hamas and Israel during the beginning of October, that the peace process, our peace plan, Donald Trump peace plan, it was to hold the Israelis drone from the Gaza sky to make Hamas fighter to able to find the remain body. This is one of the significant terms. So how Israel's released this kind of drone during Hamas looking for the remain body, I don't know. And it was also because this drone, it has a very huge noise, a very loudy noise. So it make Hamas fighter realize that there is a drone in the sky. So if they are do it, as the Israelis said, they will take a precaution about it. So I guess this is Benjamin Netanyahu is trying to mobilize the international community to accept and adopt his notion to resume the war against Gaza. As you know, this is a fragile ceasefire since it was affected in the mid of October. Israel, violated this ceasefire twice. One last thing it was yesterday. Among of these casualties, it was a Palestinian journalist, Mohammed al-Milyarawi, from Jabalia refugee camp, he and his wife. And we have seen several of footage and picture most of the casualties and the victim of the Israelis bombardment yesterday night. It was civilians, children and women, and it's breaking the heart. As I mentioned before many times, that's Benjamin Netanyahu's policy about this ceasefire. He will the fate of Gaza. It will be parallel, like the fate of Lebanon, South Lebanon, Hezbollah. They are applying the policy of heavy and intensive bombardment without any response. So he's like this. Showing his seriousness about ceasefire in Gaza, and he accept the international community condemnation and denouncement and stop the war, as he's a peace seeker on the ground, on media, but on the ground he's trying to violate it, and he trying to targeting civilians accordingly. And we have seen several of accidents what happened. I guess if Hamas made a mistake I'm talking about last time, if Hamas made a mistake or delay in return the remain body, it's not necessary to resume the war or fighting or killing civilians, and it's not necessary to bombard civilians. What he's trying to do to avoid the Israeli trail, because there is a charge against him, corruption charge. He's trying to avoid it, and he's trying to make his government coalition more happy, especially Smotrich and Ben Gvir, who is always urging for return to the war and urging to the destroy Hamas or erase Hamas. And up to now, the second phase of negotiation is not affected, and up to now it's halt because of Benjamin Netanyahu's policy on the ground. And up to now, the border, one point, the border, Gaza-Egypt border is still closed. It was one of the significant terms of this peace process to reopen the border and evacuated the injured civilians and patient civilians from Gaza to other country for a treatment journey. So up to now, it's the border is still closed, and that exacerbated the situation. I guess next time he tried to provoke Hamas to see the retaliation from Hamas, what will happen, and escalate the situation. But I guess now Hamas acting more mature and control its reaction up to now. So these things, all of Benjamin Netanyahu's propaganda, it will not work. And the international community realize how much Israel and the pro-Israel's media, they are manipulating and they are disseminating fake news and propaganda. So I'm not surprised by this video or footage that they are sharing it about Hamas action and taking the remain body from other side to other side. So there is no confirmation, and who knows this? There is no confirmation either they are Hamas fighter or no. Despite they are not identify the place where they take the picture from where, and there is no any significant sign to understand maybe this is under the Israeli control, this area. So there is a several of a question about this video, but I guess Hamas is not stupid at this level to do such kind of cooking a story like this.
Yes, indeed. Ali, thank you very much for joining us and sharing that insight from Cairo. That was Ali Muhammad Abushbak. He joined us as a Middle East researcher. Now we stay in the region. Gazans have gathered at the Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis in the southern Gaza Strip to mourn their loved ones who were killed in an overnight Israeli strikes. According to Gaza's Civil Defense Agency and hospitals, the series of Israeli strikes has killed more than hundreds of people across the Palestinian territory. Some of the Gazan residents have reacted to the situation. Let's listen into what they have said.
ونطالب العالم الأجمع بأن يقف مع شعب غزة. شعب غزة يبحث عن أكل، يبحث عن ماء، يبحث عن حرية، يبحث عن فتح المعابر، يبحث عن عيشة كريمة مثلهم مثل.
وين الضمانات اللي حكوا عنها؟ وين الادعاء إنه في وقف إطلاق نار قدامي؟ أطفال والله ما إلهم في شيء، والله براء ما إلهم في شيء. في فراشهم نايمين، إيش اللي صار؟ إيش اللي جرى؟ مش عارفة.
نايمة هي أولادها وبناتها أطفال كلهم صغار ضربوهم صاروخين نزلوا قتلوهم شهداء عند رب العالمين.
Now we move on to our next news. U.S. President Donald Trump has announced that the United States is prepared to assist Jamaica in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. Let's listen into what he has said.
Well, we have to. On a humanitarian basis, we have to. So we're watching it closely and we're prepared to move. But you know, it's doing tremendous damage. It's as we speak. It's right there right now.
Administration food stamps, SNAP benefits. Is your administration looking at again the debt?
Melissa made landfall near the southwestern town of New Hope, bringing sustained winds up to 185 miles per hour. That is well above the Category 5 threshold. In southwestern Jamaica, officials have reported severe flooding in the parish of St. Elizabeth, with more than 500,000 residents left without power. Emergency response teams are coordinating efforts as the island begins assessing the full extent of the damage. Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel has said that the Hurricane Melissa has caused extensive damage. He has urged citizens to remain vigilant and stay safely sheltered as the storm continues to affect parts of Cuba. Officials warned that recovery efforts will be challenging in the coming days. Across the Caribbean, Haiti has also faced heavy destruction, with at least 10 people reported dead due to the flooding. Residents in Cuba are surveilling the damage left behind by the hurricane. Let's listen into what some of them have said.
Sí me da miedo, pero más miedo me da
Siempre hay un miedo psicológico porque efectivamente es un evento de la naturaleza muy fuerte. Pero bueno, los cubanos, gracias a Dios y gracias a la preparación que nos ha dado el Estado, estamos preparados para asumir cualquier tipo de, por decirlo así, de defensa con respecto a eso.
Meteorologists have said that Melissa ranks as the third most intense hurricane in Caribbean history. Let's listen into what was said by the Cuban meteorologist.
Después de las 3 de la madrugada tocó tierra por el sur de la provincia de Santiago de Cuba, específicamente el municipio de Guamá, como huracán categoría 3 en la escala Saffir-Simpson, con vientos máximos sostenidos de 195 kilómetros por hora. Se ha debilitado algo y a esta hora pues todavía continúa siendo un huracán intenso, es decir, categoría 3 en la escala Saffir-Simpson, aunque con vientos que han disminuido ligeramente. La imagen de Santiago, pero donde se concentran las lluvias más fuertes, también los vientos huracanados y las fuertes marejadas con inundaciones costeras continúan siendo sobre la parte oriental del país. Vamos a verlo. También se reportaban vientos fuertes en rachas, la mayor hasta este momento 187 kilómetros por hora, reportados precisamente en la estación meteorológica ubicada en Contramaestre, en el territorio de Santiago de Cuba. Aunque
That's all we have time for. Keep watching NewsX World for more news updates.